guess like
Dance
a
battle.
later date, but
It's awkward.
dance
You
battle.
touch your hands and
They're like cheers. No, he said no.
Alright.
I've been working my knees sore.
I've
been searching for
the
the girl
official
you can draw. I've been able to enable my way forward. I've been waiting for my baby, but no more.
So, tell me your names and what your current relationship status is.
I'm Avery, still single.
I'm Isaiah. In a relationship of 1 year.
I'm Ben. I'm single.
What do you think the point of dating is?
Well, for me, dating, in my opinion, is a precursor to marriage. So you date somebody that you would potentially marry in the long run. You don't just date to date.
What does your ideal first date look like?
We talked about this when we went to the Song of Solomon, and I felt like the best one seemed like a zoo because it's not awkward and everybody likes a zoo.
Good answer.
What
Good
do you,
answer.
what do you think about movies?
I think it's a terrible idea, in
That's
my
a bad
opinion.
idea. It's a bad idea.
Why?
Well, because you just sit there, don't look at each other, you're looking straight, and like it's awkward. You touch your hands and
Don't touch your hand. Well, you can't talk to them. I mean, on a first date, like, you want to know stuff about the person, and if you're in a movie, a movie you can't do that. So I don't know. I think it's
What do you look for in a girl? Like, what's attractive? Like, personality?
yeah.
Like, why?
Sure.
well, it's a bonus when they help you with your homework.
I don't do my homework. So.
Well, I mean, for me, like, there's one of the things that like is a deal breaker is if they're not a Christian, I won't date them. I mean, like I said, if you're dating someone to eventually possibly marry them, you shouldn't be marrying someone that's not a Christian. So at that point, you shouldn't date somebody that's not a Christian. That's the first thing I try to find out.
I'd say that's a top priority, just on like a basic level. Funny, and that's always good. It's helpful, or like not necessarily the most shy of a person because I'm outgoing myself, so that works out.
Do looks matter?
What do you say, Isaiah?
Well, it's a plus, but doesn't always matter. I would say.
I'd say it's definitely a factor because that is part of attraction to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just part of it. It shouldn't be all of it, but it is part of it.
Do you talk about girls with your friends?
No.
How about you, Isaiah?
Well, I don't talk about other girls to other people. They talk to me about it because I'm actually in a relationship. And
How about
know some
before
stuff.
you were in a relationship? Did you talk to your-
Before, yes, because that's completely different. Like, because I talked about people, about her, so.
Do you like it when girls play games or play hard to get?
I'm gonna tell you.
No.
I didn't
Wait a
have,
minute, you guys.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Hard to get's one thing, because that's like, I mean, that I guess it is what it is. I don't know, playing games is almost as like, when I hear that, it's like, they kind of like, lead you on or something, like that kind of thing. No, I don't like that, because it's,
Waste time.
yeah.
Do you think guys or girls should make the first move?
The guy.
I would agree.
The
I mean, it
first
doesn't have
official
to,
move,
yeah.
but
Yeah. I mean, like, it's
Or-
not like saying like they just have to go right out in the blue and do it, but it's like you can like poke and prod at it like with each other. And
everybody likes poking and prodding, obviously.
I would say yes, because like when you look at just the dynamic of a relationship, I think the guy ought to be the one to make the first move, if you want to call it that.
What do girls do that annoys you? That's annoying.
I think the fifth
pleads the fifth. Sometimes I feel like over dramatic, which is funny because I'm a dramatic person, but like I feel like sometimes this happens with even siblings. They're just over dramatic in general. So.
If something's going on, and something's clearly going on, but they won't say anything. They don't talk.
Do you prefer outgoing or shy?
Shy.
Rob Zobgyard.
I'd like the happy medium.
What is the difference between a couple that has a relationship with God and a couple that doesn't?
I think just their outlook on everything changes. I mean, a couple that has a relationship with God, like individually and together, I think together they are, at least their goal should be to further the kingdom of Christ in whatever way that is. I mean, when you're younger it's different, when you get older it's different. But if you don't have that, then that's really just them two. I don't know, I guess.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of common goal to work towards. So a couple that, honors God above everything. I mean, they have standards, hopefully, that they live to, like relationship standards, because if you don't have that there, then who's telling the couple what they can and can't do? And society tells them, and that's dangerous.
I mean, it can be seriously different because like a good non-Christian couple is still like if like a monogamous relationship, and it still can be loving the other person. So it's not necessarily wrong per se, but it's going to be seriously different to a full Christian relationship in which your one goal is God. So.
Yeah, because there's plenty of relationships out there that neither of them are Christians, but like it's a great marriage. They're happy. That's out there, and we've always probably witnessed that. But when you take out God, yeah, kind of the eternal goal just isn't there. It's all kind of here and now.
Yep.
But as Christians, we look farther than here and now.
Alrighty. So, what is your relationship status? Say your name and your relationship status.
I'm Ellie, and I'm in a relationship.
I'm Danielle, and I am also in a relationship. Not with the same person.
That'd be awkward.
I'm Marissa and I'm single.
I'm Maddie, and I'm single.
I'm Maddie and I'm single.
I'm Monica and I'm single.
Alrighty. What do you think the point of dating is?
I would definitely say it's like finding someone who like respects you and honors you for who you are, and like just someone who's gonna like strengthen your faith like together and individually, and just like finding that person like for marriage and like doing it for the right reason. Like not just doing it to date like they were saying earlier, but just doing it for like more putting God in front of it than anything. So
They definitely have to like believe in God. Like not just say they do, but like be kind of like at the same level I am, because if you go with someone that's farther behind, they might pull you back, but if you go with someone too far ahead, then you might get lost.
That's kind of leading into the next question: is what do you look for in a guy? Like, what's attractive? No, I'm asking that question now, so you're good.
What I just said.
a good personality. Like I don't know.
That was real specific.
Yeah, just like someone funny.
They have
I
to
laugh a lot.
Yeah, they have to challenge me, I think. Like mentally, if I'm just like with somebody who makes me feel like dumb or like just like behind me, then I don't want to be babysitting, I want to be like not thinking they're a sibling, more like or an actual relationship where like I can talk to them about stuff and they understand. And they're like comedically funny.
Do you also mean like challenge like spiritually?
Yeah, that too. But
I would say just like how they treat like those around them, or like how they treat my family or like my friends like before they know them, or like always like first introductions with like especially my parents, because like I want them to respect my parents even like when we're not with my parents. That's definitely like a big thing for me too, because I want them to like respect my family and not have to like cause family separation because I'm with a certain person.
Do looks matter?
I think that also, like, the more you get to know someone, the more attractive they become, you know?
Or the more ugly they become.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily like the attractiveness, but just like how they present themselves is really important.
Yeah, I definitely think personality has to do a lot with attraction because like if somebody's like mean and rude, it like takes their like when I see them as like hot or something, it makes them look ugly because your outside shows more than your inside shows more than your outside, you know? I mean like future wise, I want my kids to be cute, so like you gotta think about that.
Took a difference. That just
And like they gotta be healthy because like if they don't take care of themselves, then how's that gonna look 30 years from now? Like are they gonna be in the hospital every day, jobless? You know, you just gotta watch out for those things if you're a future person.
Future. Moving on. What does your ideal first date look like?
I like dancing, so that would be fun. But
Dance battle.
usually that's like
Dance
a
battle.
later date, but I don't know. Dance battle? I would beat them. They would be embarrassed.
Well, like, I mean, like, my first date was the movies, but apparently that's a bad first
I
date.
mean, you're not gonna talk.
Actually, my first date was like a car ride home. Does that count as a date?
No.
No.
No,
Well-
because I was in the car.
Yeah.
You gotta be close.
I would say like somewhere where you can get to know them more, like where their personality shows.
Or like some activity that you guys, or that like both of you enjoyed to do.
I'd say like one of my very first dates was like a sporting event or something, just like where you're in public but yet you're still like talking and it's not as awkward because like if it gets real awkward you can like go and talk to someone else. Or I would say like just like maybe like going fishing or like going out on a walk or like hammocking or something like that. That would
Something
be.
you're both
You're on
interested in.
hammocks, of course. So.
Oh, or a double hammock.
Do you think you guys play games? AKA
Yeah.
RPG?
Yeah. Playing games sounds really bad. But like figuring out just like how much they're actually interested in you because like you can like say something and then they're like either really creepy like oh yeah like completely and or they're like they don't care and they're just like whatever. But just like kind of like not testing the boundaries but like
Strategies.
strategy, yeah.
Yes.
It's like a game. Like it is a game.
It's more of a checklist for me. Like when I'm talking to someone, I'm not just talking to them to talk to them. I'm talking to them to figure out if they complete my checklist.
Exactly.
Because if they don't, then I'm not gonna go on 7 dates, pay money for stuff, and then
Constant
figure
judgment.
out that they don't fill anything on my checklist. Like
Well, like I feel like sometimes you have to have like
it's called standards.
you kind of have to judge them, like not judge. But you have to.
Yeah.
You have to like.
You have to keep your standards high. You
Yeah.
can't let yourself go below.
Yeah, and you can't like be like, oh well, that'll probably go away. Like they're just nervous talking
settle.
to me. Yeah, you can't settle. Like if they say something that's a big red flag, and you're like, oh, it'll just go away. They're just nervous, and then it doesn't go away.
And they just, it's like poker. That's what you gotta see like.
Okay. Another one is: do you talk about boys with your friends?
Yeah.
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 The friends are like a jury, like the Supreme Court. They're like here, a no,
He's
no.
bad. No.
All right. So it's like, yes.
Yeah.
Do you stalk boys on social media?
That's how I met my boyfriend.
I'm kidding. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're all so disappointed in yourselves. I guess.
Well, he actually found me, so boys stalk us on Instagram too.
Do you think guys or girls should make the first move?
Guys.
Guys.
I feel like girls won't. Like even
Yeah.
if.
Well,
I feel like you don't want a guy to think you're weird. I feel like that's
Yeah.
traditional. Like we're going off our traditional things.
I
but,
also
like,
think it depends on who the girl is too,
Yeah.
because
And
some
the
people are
situation.
shy.
I feel like
So.
both sides are shy.
Yeah.
But people
but some
people in different
they
vibes
expect
aren't
it
as.
for the guy
to do it, so then you kind of just expect.
But okay, but
Well-
like in my case, when I was in a relationship, like I made the first move. Like I asked him out on the first date. Like I like asked him out to like officially like start dating, stuff like that. And like if I wouldn't have done that, it probably never would have happened. I just like Anka said, I kind of feel like it depends on like the situation and the person, cause like the guy could be like super shy or something, and then like I'm kind of like outgoing, so I'm like, well, I know it's probably like really scary for that person if it's not really for me, and I like know that we both feel the same way, that I'm like, oh well, then I'll just do it. But like traditionally, I think the guy should.
There's also another option called the middleman, and that's when your friends put it together.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
No, I second that. That's happened.
Yeah, and
It's
it
not
like
just her.
it could be for the good, it could be for the bad. Because like sometimes they're just both chickens with their heads cut off running around, and the farmer needs to like.
Okay, moving on. Alright, so, what do guys do that annoy you?
Every crack, every bone in their body.
You were just gonna stop it?
Crack. That is my biggest pet peeve. Guys just sit there and they're like, I can't even do it right now because I hate it. That
Avery.
Yeah, Avery's one of the examples.
Who just
does
cut
it.
my neck?
But I, yeah.
I think.
Or no, when they're like all sweet and nice around you, but when they're around their friends, they're like big tough guy. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Or when around their family.
What?
Not you, like the brothers.
Like, if you're gonna be nice to me and stuff, can you just act like that when I'm always around, not just like when it's just, you know what I'm saying?
I think
Yeah, I
the
know what
most
you're saying.
annoying thing about a guy, not all guys, but just pride, because like they won't like they won't let their true self show around certain people because of it, and like the way they think that their friends are gonna think less of them and stuff like that. But like the person you think you're planning to marry, if you're dating them, you're making them think less of you while you're doing like those things, you know, because like you're yourself one time, and then I mean the girls do it too. They act different ways around different people, but like it just hurts. Or like when they won't stand up for you around their friends or like around certain people. That's annoying.
Alright, what is the difference between a couple that has a relationship with God and a couple that doesn't?
I would say their intentions, like their intentions with each other, their intentions with their relationship, definitely like what their relationship is focused on. Like if it's just for each other or like the physical things, that's way different than someone or a couple that's like in it for the long run and in it to like get to know each other and like build an actual relationship. And you can see that, like it's so evident in between the different relationships, like just in society and stuff. And I definitely think a big thing too is like couples who make boundaries for themselves, like that's respecting God and respecting each other in more than like any other way could.
I think either relationship, like there's gonna be differences and there's gonna be like some that are just like perfect either way, you know. But like I definitely think what Maddie said, boundaries and standards are way different between the two. Like if you have God in your relationship, there's not only your standards that come into play, but the standards God set before you for a relationship, and like the rules that He sets out, and that means that they're like not necessarily more likely to succeed, but like it has a spiritual success in it.
Alright, that was it. That's all the questions.
Wow.
Nice.
Well,
Okay.
these girls are single, so any of you youthful Christian boys, come get them and cut.